can we talk about folk music? We don't talk enough about folk music. You know,
Actually, we had a couple we talked about.
well, you're talking about the professor now.
The professor, yeah.
Our
Yeah.
brother, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who stuck with it. He started, you know, you had mentioned that he started when he was like hardly a teen. You know, he was like 12 or 13 years old, got a guitar, learned to play it, listened to records and tried to copy it. Ukulele, yeah, then to guitar.
Uh-huh.
And so he had, he and I have been folk performers for a number of years. And we were always inspired by certain groups. You know, we've talked about, say, Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan and Joan Baez and all. But there was a folk duo that was really prominent. Now, who do you think that was?
Well, let me first start out with saying we're doing a grab bag.
Oh,
This is
my
a
God.
Dizzy grab bag. So we're doing a Dizzy grab bag. So I don't know what he's got. So this is kind of new to me. Although I see what his first one is. So the first big one would be for folk would be Simon and Garfunkel. And so we're going to talk about some Simon Garfunkel.
That was right.
All right.
Sounds of Silence.
Sounds of Silence.
This is a big hit for them and a big record for them.
I like Colbert's Sounds of Science. A silly little bit he does, but yeah, I always loved Simon and Garfunkel. I remember a guy in college had Bridge Over Troubled Waters, and had a mobile fidelity version of it, and very nice to listen to it. It's so clean, and you know, they started out as Tom and Jerry, and had a couple of records that did nothing, and I've come across them, but you know, they always, you know, even back in the day in the 80s, I think they were still $30 plus, and so now they got to be over $100 for those records, and so I never picked up one of them. I kind of am interested in what that sounded like.
And they were named what?
Tom and Jerry.
And yet that's neither of their names.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. You know, they they.
Now that's peculiar.
Well, you know, they're always trying to homogenize things, right? And so Simon and Garfunkel sounds a little ethnic of some kind. So that might have been part of it. What else is on that one? You said it Sound of Silence. I mean, there's other tunes, aren't there?
Oh no, Richard Corey's on here.
Oh, Richard Corey, yeah, you guys did that one.
I love the song "April Come She Will." Unusual statement there. And
Most Peculiar Man, I remember Professor covering that one. A Kathy song, I kind of remember that tune.
The Leaves Are Green. Oh, that was big with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Leaves That Are Green. I remember that one.
Yeah.
But you know, if you haven't explored Simon and Garfunkel, get into it. Beautiful music. Beautiful stuff.
Very beautiful. Well, this is one of the best recordings of Simon Garfunkel. Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah, we were talking.
You just can't get any better stereo, and the production on this is excellent.
Right.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
This really should go.
Pass.
If we were to pick the top 10
Cecilia
folk records of, say, the 1960s, this would have to be. I'd even put them in the top in the top 5, because this is just.
There's not much on here that isn't a hit on its own. So yeah, they do a cover of Bye Bye Love, it looks like, but the rest of it, a lot of originals and customer satisfied.
Well, for years they toured with the Everly Brothers.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that seems like a good combination.
Yeah.
I always like Cecilia and how it opens up with kind of like a bongo rhythm thing, and you know, you don't know what's really going on, but there's this little bit of slap here and a bang there, and ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk kind of deal going on, and in comes the melody or the guitar, and you go, oh, okay, and it's great production, great fun tune, and Paul Simon, such a great writer.
I love the title of some of his songs, like "So Long, Frank Lloyd Wright."
Right.
And you hear that song, so melodic, so. I mean, it sounds like he's so fond of Frank Lloyd Wright, and who would think
to come up with a song in honor of Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah. No,
My
he would go,
God,
he'd go
what
to
a
places.
genius! You
Well, it's
know,
like
and Paul Simon. I just saw today on YouTube. You know, of recent concerts, they'll have a short one song YouTube video of it, probably by a fan. You know, it's not supposed to be publicly out there, but somebody does and puts it out there and gets some hits on it. And I watched it and I thought, oh, this is so good.
Well, I remember catching a Heart and Bone record of Paul Simon's, and he was originally supposed to have a Garfunkel on it because it was after they did their thing in Central Park, and he was going to have him on Heart and Bone, and it was so personal to him as far as the songs that he decided to take Garfunkel off of it and just have it be him because he just felt it was his stuff. And you know, I am curious what it sounds like with Garfunkel's vocals on there.
Sure.
But you know, I get it. You know, you do these things and they.
Well, I
have
missed
connection.
Garfunkel once he went solo because Garfunkel has a beautiful voice.
Right.
You know,
Right. No, there was great stuff there, for sure.
This was another thing: parsley, sage, and rosemary, and thyme.
Time.
So anyway, this was a really big at the time.
Scarborough Fair.
Well,
Yeah.
how about this for a song title? A Poem on the Underground Wall.
Yeah, he had something like that. The Dangling Conversation.
7 o'clock news and Silent Night.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that one actually. That's kind of cool where they have a bit of the 7 o'clock news playing, and then they go into Silent Night. So with the horrors of the world.
That might be the best version of Silent Night that I ever heard. I'm not kidding.
And then it also has that little tune, Homeward Bound, on it. And right behind that is the Big Bright Green Pleasure Machine.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy title.
And very upbeat.
But very upbeat.
Very upbeat.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of unique. With an OB on it, that's the advertisement here on the side.
Right.
This is
Japanese pressing.
Yeah. And this is like a greatest hits of Simon and Garfunkel.
I know this one.
It was released only in Japan.
Oh. Okay, I got something. I don't know if you have this, but I have one where it's a Simon Garfunkel, but it's very even more acoustic, I believe is the deal. It might just be Paul Simon singing the songs acoustically, but it's always great to hear it in different versions, different ways. It's all great
Sometime
stuff.
we'll have to do a Paul Simon album review. You know, do you have a good selection of Paul Simon records?
I have a few, but no.
I'm the same way. I only have a few too.
Yeah,
He went into world music, and if we've always said that a huge category of music is rock, next would be jazz, and then it gets even smaller in blues.
Oh, and country's in there too.
Folk would be like a record store today would probably go, it's a little,
yeah, it's a little section over there.
and
we got
then
3 records in there.
And then if I said, how about world music, they go, what is it?
Oh no, I think a lot of times you'll
They'll have a
larger
big
section.
one, yeah. Well, we know we'll give kudos to a friend of yours, Georgetown Records. And what is that man's name? Martin has a good selection of world music, especially from the continent of Africa, the Congo, and Ethiopia, Nigeria, and lots of others. And he specializes it, and he pays the shipping in, and a lot of people have gotten to know that he's got it. But a lot of other, I think we went to our friends that are in, say, downtown Kent, where I live here in Washington, and I said world music to the young lady that owns it. She'd go, "You better go
somewhere else."
I don't know. It's not. I don't have it.
Yeah.
And I think even in
sure what it is,
Burien or these other small suburbs, you got to get into a big metropolitan area to find it.
So you just said that's the end for today. And
but don't forget, there's always tomorrow. And I could call you. You could come down,
and I'll have as big a surprise for you. You won't believe it.
Oh boy.
It'll
Can't
be
wait.
bigger than Elvis, bigger than the Beatles, bigger than the Rolling Stones.
Don't build it up too much. You know, it could be.
Well, it could be Marcus and the Mammals.
Yeah, or Wally and the Bees. Right. So, we'll catch you next time.
I hope so.